The blacksmith who forged himself. There was once a man named Keys, a humble blacksmith who lived in a small village beneath a vast mountain. Every morning before sunrise, the sound of his hammer echoed through the valley. Sparks flew like stars as he shaped glowing iron into swords, plows, and horseshoes. The villagers admired his skill, but none knew the battle he fought within. Every night, when the forge grew cold and the fire faded into ash, Keys sat alone. He had enough food to eat, a loving wife, a daughter whose laughter filled his home, yet his heart remained restless. He watched merchants grow rich, soldiers return with medals, and kings receive endless praise. He believed fortune had blessed everyone except him. "I work harder than most," he whispered to himself. "Why does fortune never choose me?" The question became heavier than the hammer in his hands. One autumn evening, as rain fell softly upon the roof of his forge, an old traveler arrived. His robe was worn, his sandals covered in dust, yet his eyes were calm, as if they had seen every joy and every sorrow without losing their peace. He placed an old sword on the anvil. "Can you repair this?" he asked. Keys examined it. "The blade is cracked beyond repair." The old man smiled. "So is your thinking." Keys frowned. "What do you mean?" The traveler looked into the fire and said quietly, "You believe fortune shapes your life. But fortune has never held your hammer." Keys stood silent. The old man continued, "Fortune is the wind. Sometimes it fills your sail. Sometimes it destroys your roof. It obeys no man. But virtue is your anchor. It keeps you from drifting when storms arrive. Wisdom is your compass. It shows you the right direction when the road disappears. And an unmoved mind is the captain who never abandons the ship." The words settled into Keys's heart like iron placed into the fire. The next morning, nothing had changed. His forge was the same. His tools were the same. His village was the same. But Keys was not. When customers insulted him, he answered with patience instead of anger. When another blacksmith earned more money, he refused to let envy poison his heart. When drought struck the village and work became scarce, he repaired broken tools for families who could not pay. People called him foolish. "You'll never become rich." Keys simply smiled. "I would rather become good." Then came the hardest winter anyone could remember. The river overflowed. Homes were swept away. The forge where Keys had worked for 30 years collapsed beneath the floodwaters. The villagers cried that everything was lost. But Keys stood calmly among the ruins. He gathered fallen beams. He helped rebuild homes before rebuilding his own. He comforted grieving families before thinking of his losses. His daughter asked, "Father, aren't you sad?" He knelt beside her and replied, "My child, the flood took my forge. It did not take my character. It carried away wood and stone, but it could not wash away virtue, wisdom, or peace." Years passed. His hands grew rough. His hair turned silver. His back bent with age. One day, a young apprentice asked him, "Master Keys, what is the finest sword you have ever forged?" The old blacksmith smiled and placed his weathered hand upon his own chest. "I never forged a perfect sword. I forged something stronger, myself." And in that quiet moment, the young apprentice understood the lesson that would outlive every kingdom. Steel can break, wealth can disappear, kingdoms can fall, fortune can change in a single day. But the person who forges a virtuous character, seeks wisdom above pride, and keeps an unmoved mind possesses a strength that no storm, no king, and no fate can ever destroy. Virtue, wisdom, unmoved. Master your mind. Govern your character. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey. Stay with us for more timeless wisdom, and remember, virtue, wisdom, unmoved. See you in the next story.